How to build your first millions from nothing. So this video is not gonna be talking about 5 ways to make easy money, 5 business model that you can make $100 per day. It's not easy like that. Every business model is not easy. It's hard. It's for people who want to willing to do it for a long time until it's success. And that's why a lot of people out there are poor. Because they love comfort. They can work for anybody out there for 8 to 9 hours per day, but can't work for yourself just about 2 to 3 hours per day. And that's why a lot of people are struggle in the rat race. So, if you currently have no money and your goal is to become rich and getting your first million, if you want more money, the most important thing you're going to need is knowledge. It's really that simple because the way that wealth is created is through value, and unless you have a really attractive look or cute face, you cannot give value to others without knowledge. The more specialized knowledge that you have, the better. Because education is insanely important for anybody who is looking to generate a large amount of wealth. But it's not the kind of education that we are told to get going up, because I could go out there and I could read a bunch of books about celebrity, but all of that knowledge wouldn't make me a single penny in most cases. Types of knowledge that you need to learn must solve problem or must be able to use in some way to provide great value to other people. And the more value that you can provide, the better. If you are somebody who doesn't have any money, all that you really do have is your time. And so your time should be spending acquiring more knowledge, but knowledge will only get you so far, because at some point you experience diminishing return, whereby the new knowledge that you're learning will only increase your income by a little bit. The next logical step is experience. You see, once you have knowledge, that will allow you to provide value to other people. The thing is really a better teacher than experience, but on it again, you can't just have experience in anything. This experience must be for something that will generate income for you. I can sit here and I can gain all the experience in the world for useless activities that don't generate me any income. But at the end of the day, it's going to be all for nothing. Because to go from nothing to something, you need to have experience in the right thing. You need to actually get out there and you need to actually do it. You need to actually spending time doing the things that's going to generate your income. You can sit in the front of the camera and really spend years learning how to become the best salesman. But if you never get out of your room and go sell something, you're never actually going to make any sale, and you're never going to generate any money. People often make the mistake of thinking that they can just learn some things forever or gain knowledge forever without ever realizing that knowledge is utterly useless without action or without experience. I can usually get amazing ideas coming to me all day long every day, but if I never act on them, they're never going to be more than just an idea. And if you're looking to build wealth from nothing, this is one of the most important things. And the biggest mistake that you can possibly make when you're trying to build wealth from nothing is trying to reinvent the wheel. You see, when I was first trying to create wealth from nothing, I was always trying to come up with some revolutionary new idea or some crazy new product or service that would forever change the world. But this is like trying to storm the castle to the front gate where the army is just sitting there waiting for you. In fact, the easiest path to success or the great wealth is simply copy what's already been done. Now, I didn't mean that you should go to create a shoe and name it Nike. What I mean is to find something that's already worked and to model your business or your way of making money off of that. If we're talking something like YouTube, go out there and find a channel that's already proven and then model your channel off of that. It's really that simple. I know that I struggle personally with this first because I thought that if I copy somebody else's business model, I was basically just an imposter. But on I moved past this limiting belief, this limiting way of thinking things really changed for me for the better. You see, there is current example out there of business model that require almost no money. What you have to understand is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The things are there that are working for a reason. And all that you have to do to be successful is to copy those successful things and then capture the portion of that audience or portion of those buyers in order to make a tons of money. So, if you are somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, the things that you most likely do have a lot is your times. And the most important thing that you can do is making sure that you use your time as effectively as possible. You see, people who have no money usually have a hard time just getting anything productive done. There's going to come a point where you're realizing that you might be working 8 hours a day, but for some reason your income is not increasing. And so working harder will only get you so far, because at some point you realize that working harder just doesn't cut it. At some point you will discover the 20 of activity that are getting you 80% of your result, and on you figure this out, you now might shift from just working harder to working smarter. Imagine you're gonna work for 8 hours every single day, building and growing an internet business. And when you reach the point where you can't possibly work any more hours in a day, this is a point that you will need to think hard about the things that you are doing and how you can get the greatest result with the reach amount of time. Some of the greatest billionaire and multimillionaire in the world today did not get to where they are because they work harder. They got to where they are because they work smarter. Sometimes we might work really hard, but if we're doing the wrong thing or if we are in the wrong business, no amount of hard work is going to get us out of that. No amount of hard work is going to dramatically increase our incomes. And it is in these situations that we must choose to work smarter rather than harder. So, to build wealth from nothing, no matter who you are or what situation you're in, it's all to start with solving a problem or creating value for other people. In sport, what do you think is a player who scored the most points in the game that get paid the most about money? It's because they deliver the greatest value. You see, the world has something like 7 billion people on it now, and every single one of those people had problems that they need to solve. And for some people, their problems are solved by watching an entertaining video after a long day at work. For others, their problems are solved through some form of education, such as a video teaching them how to become rich. And the greater the problem that you solve and the more people that you can solve it, the more money that you will make in the end. It's really that simple. They're actually an equation for the total amount of money that you can make, and is it the size of the problem that you will solve times the number of people that you can solve it for that amount of money that you can make. You see, many people in today's world are sad, and they are looking for something to help them to cope with that sadness. This is why companies that sell alcohol and show are so incredibly popular, because most people are simply looking for an escape. Its most problem at their core actually boils down to either entertainment or education, meaning people either want to be entertained and they want to have good times, or they want to learn some type of knowledge that will help them solve a problem they have. So the more that you can solve people's problem for them, the wealthier that you will ultimately be. So that's it for this video. So thanks for watching. I'm just a man who want to help a lot of young men.